don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no, we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life.
I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see third-year quarterback Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans as they do battle with the reigning MVP of the National Football League, Patrick Mahomes, and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up with the Houston Texans. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. They go play fake. Mahomes. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have back on their heels.
Mahomes going to throw. Buying time to his left. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive.
And that's a great opening series defensively. You force what should be a 3-and-out on your opening possession.
And great coverage there on third down to force the incompletion to set up fourth. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. First down, Watson. That's complete to Cooks. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Watson, his 14th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Defensively, they told us that the top priority was defending option plays this week, but here on the very first drive, the defense broke down a bit.
It certainly did, and it's really not a surprise because defending option football is difficult. You have to think too much. Most of the time, you just react to what you see and you play fast. Here you're reacting, you're processing. Do I have the back? Do I have the quarterback? Who do I take? Do I take on a blocker? And next thing you know, he's in the end zone.
And now here comes Kansas City. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they got to come back out and start them.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Whitney Merciless, showing no mercy, flies in for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Throwing now is Mahomes. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. A gain of 22. Took him 5 tries, but he is able to complete that first pass of the game.
And could you hear the exhale all the way up here? Not just from him, coaching staff, offensive line, receivers. Now he's off the schneid. Can they get him going in a nice groove where he becomes a little more consistent throwing the football?
Because you miss those first 2, but you get up the 0 for 4 range. That can be a little tricky, but able to settle in, hopefully.
Yeah, now you won't have any confidence issues. Now you can kind of get it back even with just one throw.
They'll run here with Lindsey. Timmy Jernigan, the Florida State man, in on the stop.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 21. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory, all the way down at the 21-yard line. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Benardrick McKinney, a first-time Pro Bowler a season ago, in on the tackle there.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On second down now, it's Lindsey. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Phillip Lindsey, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, it was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run, end result, 6 points.
Touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back?
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And it's taken in at the 9. Oh, what a move. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there and handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On second down, it's Lindsey. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Lindsey. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. They'll run on first down. Lindsey.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up third downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you it started in the offseason. Third down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up in a very good play.
On second down, Williams. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. He'll buy some time right. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
They go play action here on first down. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They'll run. It's Lindsey. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving. Now a carry for Lindsey. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On second down now, it's Lindsey. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. That's going to be caught. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Mecole Hardman hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Well, later tonight, we have more football. Sunday night football, a good one out west. Steelers and Chargers might see equal amounts of black and gold mixed with a powder blue in the stands for that one. And then tomorrow, Monday night football, Detroit and Green Bay battle in the NFC North from Lambeau Field. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Anthony Hitchens in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. third down. Johnson. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on fourth down. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll kick it away for the second time. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. Watch out for Hill on the return. 12 yards on the return that time, and out will come the offense as they take over. Phillip Lindsay and the rest of the offense heading back out. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now here's Mahomes. This is caught. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Demarcus Robinson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Back to throw, Watson. And he'll find Akins there, complete. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, just inside the We now proceed to the start of the second half. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Watson. Got a man. It's his tight end, Lance Kendricks. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. A first down carry here for Johnson. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Watson. He gets it to Cooks. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Great move, but still wrangled before reaching the 20. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Watson. Johnson's got it complete. No yardage to speak of whatsoever. Leads to a 3rd down. Seventh play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, Watson. And the catch made by Johnson. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
No one attempted or made more field goals than Fairbairn last year. He was 37 of 42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 points on the board. But I'll guarantee you, Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is thinking to himself, we need to use him a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some more touchdowns.
So here are the Chiefs to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 48-yard line. To throw, it's Mahomes. Completes it to Hardman. And he's got this down to the 35. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Another run by Lindsey. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. Mahomes and the offense staying out there. They'll go for it on 4th. We're back now in KC. It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4. Mahomes throwing on 4th. 20. He is going to find Hill here. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Extra point right down the middle. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time? That maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
From the gun, here's Watson. He finds his man Johnson. It's a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now Watson. Throw complete right side to Cooks. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 44-yard line. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Anthony Hitchens has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Watson on target here to Fuller. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Texans on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. To throw is Watson. This is caught. It's Cooks. The 20. That one goes for 29 yards on third down. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Watson, that's complete to his tight end. This is Lance Kendricks. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Kiki QT, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans cut into that lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Oh, the Texans may have recovered. They did recover. Well, that certainly makes things more interesting. You get the score, then you get the onside kick. A little uphill battle still, but a start.
It's not mission accomplished, but the plan is working. They're in a great spot right now, and the best part, they put the defense right back out on the field after having already scored.
Yeah, they've got the momentum here now. In 2018, Deshaun Watson had 5 fourth-quarter comebacks. Only Drew Brees of the Saints had more with 6. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw again on second down. Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Watson now to throw, and he is dropped. Though we do have a penalty marker on the field. Let's get the call. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
And he finds Stills complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Now it's Watson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Anthony Hitchens in there to drop him as that clock continues to run.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Watson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. On first down, right back to Lindsey. And they string that play out nicely. He's stopped before he can turn upfield. No gain, second down. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. On second down, a run with Lindsey. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game.
Yellow. Hey, 43, 15.
On third down, Lindsey, and he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Mahomes going to go on 4th down. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th. A gutsy decision there going for it on 4th, but they got it, and that likely puts an end to this one.
Indeed, it was gutsy because there's so many other options they probably could have exercised in that situation, but they bet on themselves.
And this is caught, and that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
They can't stop you, son.
And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets it. And the pressure gets to him again. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. One last throw here for Watson. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game.